There was a situation with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, and they were offering a one-way ticket back to South Africa for people like myself as a refugee.
Yes.
I was born in exile.
Brother, are you saying you were the first white refugee?
Probably.
This is a... This is an old thing, apparently. Right. I didn't know. These Afrikaners thought they invented it. Welcome to the Learner Husband podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about everything from I do to what on earth am I supposed to do. My name is Stuart Taylor. I'm a full-time comedian, a part-time learner husband. I'm not here to give you advice, guys. I'm just here to ask questions. And today I'm joined by a mover and a shaker, a man who basically packed up his life at the age of 30 to start a new life in this country. And then he killed it, and he's raising confident kids, and he's living his best life. It's none other than Mr. Nick Feinberg.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. That was incredible.
Thank you. Welcome to it. Are you excited?
Absolutely blown away to be invited. I mean, I must say that you must be running out of guests when you have to invite the father of somebody who's really famous. That's, thanks for having me. All the same. To give a 60-year-old a bit of confidence back. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Nick, we go way back, man. We've been playing poker together for like 25 years or so. So it's great to be having like an honest conversation as opposed to, you taking my money and talking smack.
That went back to Dick Burton Street, I think, I first met you. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was at that point, in that poker thing where you were like, my son's really good at rugby.
Oh, did I?
You did. You would say that to us. And we would all be like, yeah, everyone's son is good at rugby. Anyway, now we all eat our words. We start the Learner Husband podcast always by doing a bit of a quiz just to check your competence. Now, the thing I really want to talk to you about is the idea of a blended family. I've never spoken to a dad who's a part of a blended family. So this game over here is called Blend or Boundary.
Oh,
that's what you're going to answer. You're going to give me the one-word answer, blend or boundary, and maybe a one-liner attached to it as well. It goes like this. Being a blended family, the kids have to share a room for the first 3 months. Blend or boundary?
Blend, 100%.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I mean, got to get them to know each other. Put them straight in the mix.
Okay, nice. One family's traditions versus the other. Blend or boundary?
I think probably boundary because, especially with me, because such a mixed cultural, diverse bunch of people we all are.
Yes.
Me, English, white, of Jewish origin, although atheist, ex-wife Zulu, black, Soweto, Bryanston, current wife, Mitchell's Plain, coloured, so-called coloured, etc. So yeah, sounds complicated, but it's not.
You are the Rainbow Nation. You are Mandela's dream, my friend. You came from England to live Madiba's dream.
Sure.
Okay, one final one. Blend or boundary? Shared family WhatsApp versus separate threads?
That's an awkward one to answer, but I think the thing is that with my kids anyway, they're at slightly different levels of life and understanding, age-wise.
Right.
So there has to be some separation because on the one hand, if I'm talking about this, that and that, the other one, it's just not appropriate for the other one.
Got you. Yeah. So you're saying you can swear in the one WhatsApp group and give a heads up of where the traffic cops are.
All of that.
Where the roadblocks are. And on the other one, you've got to be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, son.
No. Yeah, that.
A blended family, my friend. Was this... this must be, besides the cultural differences over there. What was that like? I mean, how did you navigate your new wife, and then you've got 2 sons, and she's got a son, and you all have to be one big happy family? How did you navigate that situation?
Well, remember, my first marriage was also blended.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nathan was 4 years old when I first met him.
Okay.
And he was already around,
right?
And I fell in love with his mother. So it's you don't make any. The decision after there is basically you're in it. Yeah?
Exactly.
And then Sasha came along, so that was a blended family, and Nathan became my son. Yes. And we're still very, very close to this day, which is wonderful.
You say that like I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
I genuinely thought, Nathan and Sasha
Nathan's
are biological brothers. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then into a second relationship, met a woman fell in love with a woman, and she happened to have a son who also became my son, and very happy with all three.
Nick's got a path. Nick's got a type. What did you learn from the first one that you got to implement in the second relationship?
Without getting too deep into it, I think my biggest learning was that in a relationship, if something goes wrong, the number one thing you have to think about and prioritize is the kids.
Right.
That's it. That's my biggest learning was that
But you clearly did that right. If at the end of your first marriage, Nathan is your boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's your guy.
100%.
So clearly the kids trumped everything.
Yes, I mean, as adults we can deal with emotional stuff, but then when things got difficult with my first situation, it was sort of time to pull it apart, look after the kids.
Got you.
And I became a single dad for many years as well, with both of them. Yeah.
I remember you used to leave them in the car while we played poker.
Right. Don't say that kind of thing. That's not true.
They were very good car guards outside. So... Listen, when it comes to parenting someone else's kid, do you see it that way, or do you just go, "Oh no, this is my guy"?
So I fell in love with Corsi, my first wife, and I fell in love with her son too. He became my boy instantly, and love him absolutely like my own, like I do with Caden, with my second marriage, and absolutely treat them all exactly the same. No difference. Absolutely no difference.
It does feel that way. I mean, we were at your party the other day, and watching those three boys in the same vicinity, it really does feel like three brothers. There doesn't feel like there's any kind of hierarchy, like the one is favored above the other.
There was some moments and difficulties when Caden was a bit younger, when he was like 12, 13, whatever, and the other two were sort of going out and doing stuff, and then it became a little bit awkward, but they're absolutely good as gold now, and they love each other.
Was he like, yo man, why can they go and do that and I can't?
Yeah, there was all of that, but he's a really cool kid, and he's grown up, and now he's out all the time, so yeah.
Exactly. Listen, you packed up in the UK when you were 30, and then you move here. That's what was the motivating factor behind that?
I sat on a park bench with my closest friend Andy Casserels, the Admiral, him.
Yeah, I know the Admiral.
And we had a conversation about where things were going, and this was in just early '94.
Right.
We decided at that moment we're going to pack up and leave, and there was a situation with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, and they were offering a one-way ticket back to South Africa for people like myself as a refugee, because I was born in exile. So they bought me a one-way ticket, and I thought, fucking great. Holiday in South Africa, free holiday.
Are you saying you were the first white refugee?
Well, yeah, probably.
This is an old thing, apparently. Right. I didn't know. These Afrikaners thought they invented it.
They met me at OR Tambo and gave me an envelope with some money in it. I don't know, it was like a couple of £1,000. Welcome home, Mr. Feinberg. And I was like, fucking great. And I came down to Cape Town.
Yes.
And I must say, when I got to Cape Town, it was just like football, partying, dancing, music, people, new government, hope, life. It was just, it was a sensory overload.
Yes.
And then I thought, what the fuck am I doing in Cricklewood, Broadway? A grey, rainy, horrible environment. Getting up to mischief in England, which I was a lot.
Yeah.
And there was suddenly this amazing, and also because of the people I was brought up around in England, many of them became high people in government and stuff. So I was invited to places, and I was in the mix, and it was just like, right, that's it. So I went back to London, packed up, came here, never looked back.
Amazing.
I love this country.
Well, we loved having you here. We still love having you here. What is, other than your beloved Chelsea, what is the one habit that you've brought back from the UK that you still maintain, other than watching Chelsea every
No, nothing
occasion?
now. In the early days, I was up to mischief in England, in many different arenas, and I continued that when I was here. And that's what I brought over. But then, absolutely nothing of that now. I don't miss much, and I get on with my South African life.
Amazing. See if we can just get the recording of this to the Hawks, please.
Yeah.
You've got these three boys, right? And the one thing I will say, you talk to them, you see them, they are confident as can be. Now, firstly, obviously is best known because of his profile in the Springboks now. The little video clip of Sasha that surfaced of him when he was at primary school as the captain of the team over there. So you're like, okay, now this boy's been a confident boy. What do you do? What does Candace do? What is the environment you guys create that fosters that kind of confidence? Because it's not just Sasha. You speak to Nathan, he's got the same level of confidence.
And Caden as well.
Caden's got the same level of confidence. What is it that you guys did that is like practical thing that I can do as a father with teenagers that kind of fosters that kind of confidence in your kids?
I haven't had a chance to think about this too much, and it's an important question. But I think a lot of it's to do with absolute openness always with all of us. We talk about everything.
Okay.
We've never had spanking. We've never had punishments. We've never pushed the kids, whether it be with matric or on the rugby field. Everything's very, very easygoing. And I think that's created an environment where they've been happy to speak up and speak out and talk about their problems. The school they went to helped with that, I believe.
Right.
I was against them going to Bishops, and the mother insisted on it. And by the time they finished, because it goes against all my principles and what I was brought up with.
100%.
My father was a communist,
Yes.
and he didn't like it. But by the time they left there, I was like,
when he saw the product,
he
was like, oh, thank goodness.
Thank God they went through that, because they turned out really well. There was an occasion when Sasha was standing up in front of 400 or 500, people, big wigs in industry and all the bishop's parents in a hall there, and he was standing at the plinth. He was about 12 or 13 years old without any notes, and he addressed them without notes. I could never do that, like a young
wild,
Barack Obama.
It's wild.
It's just like incredible. And I was just like, okay.
And there's something to be said about the product of that school. I was doing a hockey day the other day, and actually one of Sasha's classmates who plays South Africa hockey,
Mustafa.
Yes. He was at the hockey dinner, and it's the same level of they just there.
Great.
And they funny, and he's like, oh, my biggest claim to fame is not that I played for South Africa, but that I was once a teammate of Sasha Feinberg.
And he was a brilliant rugby player, as good as, if not better than Sasha.
And you're like, man, what is in the water at this school that creates that? Is it because we are a product of our environment?
Yeah. So there was that, and there was also the fact that I was a radio guy. Very outspoken, loud, as you know, always like chit-chatting, getting into issues, shouting at people, arguing, there was always that. There was a lot of conversation with me and around me. And then Sasha's mother is an advocate. Gotcha. So, very sort of, she's an incredibly strong,
then you got
confident woman. They were in that environment, as with Candace, who comes from Lentegeur and, sort of, I don't know how to put this, but managed to escape from the normal route that unfortunately people from that sort of environment end up in. And she's also very confident and strong, and so I think the kids have been around good people.
Got you. Okay, so I've got my work cut out for me. I've got to find an advocate wife and a goose from Lentegeur.
You've got a fantastic wife.
I do. It's a joke, Nick.
I know.
It's a joke. Big thanks to the team here at Moto Village in the southern suburbs of Cape Town for hosting this episode of the Learner Husband podcast. Moto Village is basically a petrol-head's dream come true. You can pop in for a coffee, come buy your dream car, or even have your car detailed at the Glossfather, or take care of full body repairs. But the best part is that this unique space is available for hire. So give them a call to inquire about using the space for your next event. I have a love-hate relationship with the word humility and being humble. In that, that's what we get brought up to believe. I went to a Catholic school, you must humble yourself.
Right.
Is there any room for that and still living in a space of your best confident self? Or are they two separate things in the life of any of those three boys who are that confident?
Yeah, I think maybe I can use the example of currently there's been some negative, mainly from sort of middle-aged white guys who used to love the 80s.
Yes.
There's been some negative comments, as an example, about Sasha, that he's Vinchat and all these words or whatever. He's the most humble guy you'll ever meet. When if you watch him at training, he's carrying the water. if he's picking the balls up.
Yes.
He's always going to talk to fans. So I think the thing is that he's confident on the field, and that's often mistaken as being arrogant. Yeah,
He's that guy.
I think that's got a lot to do with some people in this country are still not happy to see a person of colour who's actually very confident and good at what they do.
I think it's the amount of cognitive dissonance some people have when they meet someone. You that young? How dare you? How dare you present like this? And how dare you own this room and this space over here? How dare you believe that you are as good as what you are? They'd really want you to rather cower back and humble yourself.
Exactly.
Humble yourself. Oh, what a I could think of nothing worse. Man, I wish that for my kids, bro. That they grow up to be that kind of confidence. Has there ever been like a moment that your kid taught you?
So I've always been very anti-American.
Yeah.
And anti the old, positivity thing, and like all of that rubbish. But there's what I have learned is that there is a lot to be said about all of that.
Gotcha.
I do feel
You've come around.
I have.
You've come around.
And I think
Tony Robbins is suddenly your guru, my friend.
And I don't think it's I don't think it's mystical. I think if you're kind to people, if you're good to people all the time, and you do good things, and you attempt to do good stuff, whether it's business or work or whatever, it's naturally things are going to just reflect well on you. The mantra with the kids has always been throughout, since they were young kids, is just be nice to everyone. It's not deep, it's not philosophical. It's
just be nice
to everyone. And I was like when I went to visit, when I went to Barcelona, Chelsea many years ago in the Champions League, and I saw for myself the way people were, not that it was Lionel Messi at the time, but whether it was Lionel Messi or the guy sweeping the stadium, everyone was treated the same way.
Right.
It's why they became the greatest team in the world, I believe. So that's something that I've tried to inculcate into the kids. Just whoever it is, be great, be nice to everyone. Simple.
Jeez.
It's not difficult.
Fantastic. Listen, so you're at this stage of your marriage where you're kind of hitting empty nest vibes. What would your advice be to me, who's still quite a far way off from the empty nest situations?
Prepare. I don't know if it's what it is, if it's sort of look into what type of drugs you can take or whatever it is, but when Sasha and Nathan left the house eventually completely, it was probably the most difficult period, one of the most difficult periods of my life.
I've heard that from fathers specifically.
Yeah,
There's
really
one
hard.
dude who was like, I spend a lot of time just lying on their bed. I'm just there
It's
lying on
really
their bed.
fucking hard. And then, Caden went to stay in Johannesburg with his father, so we were empty. And then when the kids came round on a Sunday, sometimes when they were in town, I used to be pandering them, picking things up, making them food, everything.
What can I do for you?
It was like
just
that.
so happy to have them back.
Exactly. It was really, really, seriously, pretty depressing time for me. I found it really difficult to deal with. It was almost like, I've done this thing for the last 20 odd years.
Is it because that very much defined a big part of defining you? Because you said you
100%.
single parented for a while.
Yeah.
Like it was such a big part of your personality.
100%. Yeah.
That you lose that and you go, well, what do I do?
Yeah, and also, from the position I was in before I had, the kids were around, having difficult problems with substance abuse and whatever, the kids pulled me out of that.
Right.
And, they were they're sort of a lot of the driving force in my life to correct my life. And I think when they eventually left, it was almost like, okay, so
what shall I do now? Shall I go
what's
back to it?
What's important? What is important? And it's just it's been difficult, but
yeah.
Get over it.
I suppose there's also an exciting next steps, because the next steps become them moving on with their lives and potential kids, etc. Then they're going to come drop kids by your house, my friend.
No. I can't wait to have grandkids.
Are you serious?
I cannot wait. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm at that stage. He's looking at me. Like,
I know. I'm like, I can think of nothing worse.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to have. I don't think it's going to happen probably anytime soon. But
listen, I was just about to say, do you know what you just did to every woman over here who's got a picture of Sasha?
Yeah.
Like, listen, his daddy wants grandkids.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't
Let's
wait.
make a plan. Listen, we're going to wrap it up over here. I'm going to give you like a bit of a rapid fire closer. Since you're a soccer guy, you can either say if this is a green flag or a red card.
Okay.
Dads filming and screaming from the sidelines, is that a green flag or a red card?
100% red flag. I
Really?
probably don't know any. When I think back to the kids and the Weinbergs and the Sacks and all these, the Powell boys, when I think about the dads, I don't think any of the kids who had those sort of dads probably made it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the opposite. Because the thing is that because if they don't do well enough, they become so, they feel disappointment and that they've let their dad down and they're just not good enough. And I think it's just a horrible, I've never pushed any of them. Never. I've never ever pushed them. Not to do matric or anything. I think it's the worst advice or worst thing you can do with kids is push them in a direction.
But I think you find yourself in a perfect storm because I think so many parents are in a space where, like, you gotta push your kids because they're not pushing themselves. I think the beauty of your boys is that they did push themselves.
Yeah, no, they did.
Found their own space.
In what they enjoy doing.
Exactly.
And it's so cliched, isn't it? But it's so true, man.
It is.
If you push them into something they're not enjoying, and if you really push them in something they are enjoying, they're going to be, it's just not the right thing to do. I don't believe it is. And I think, like when I look at, with the matrics as well, I didn't give a shit if they got C's and D's and whatever. Just pass it, and that's what I told them.
Yes.
Just pass, man. It doesn't matter. You're not going to go and study science, science degree or need a.
And if you are, you're not going to use it. So
yeah. So
it's fine.
just pass. Just get it done, and we'll go out and celebrate. And that's that's what works for me.
Final
Seeing as
question
I left
over here.
school when I was a young teenager with nothing.
And look at you.
Look how well I did.
The most famous dad in the world.
Thanks.
Okay, so finish with this. One sentence you want your kids to remember when you're not in the room. One thing you want them to go, okay, this is the bit of advice my dad gave me that.
It's what I said earlier. And it's so plain and simple. Be nice to everyone.
Yes, like, it seems almost too simple. Nick.
It's too simple. It's just not deep. It's
Be nice to everyone. A bit of advice I feel you've never ever followed, except when you're hanging out with your poker buddies.
right. Yeah. Thanks.
Nick Feinberg, thank you
Cheers.
so much for joining
On that
me, man.
note.
On that note. Now, you are one of the nicest people. I know you
Likewise.
come across angry on the radio over there, but we all know you're a softie at heart. Thanks for your insights. Thanks for raising a Springbok who's gonna take over the world.
And thanks for the invite. And also, obviously, I used to be Nick Feinberg, my own person. Forget the radio.
Not at all.
Now I am Sasha's dad. So thank you for bringing back a little bit of who I am.
Sasha's dad, thank you for joining
Cheers,
me.
mate.
Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Questions and comments in the comment section down below. I'll catch you in the next one.